Welcome back to New Jersey Power and Politics. I'm Laura Jones.
And I'm Jim McQueenie.
And in February, civil unions between gay and lesbian couples will finally be legal here in New Jersey. Just before Christmas, Governor Corzine signed off on civil union legislation.
And joining us here on the show today are two men who will have the option of being joined in a civil union soon after that. Our guests now in Power and Politics are Ed Mather and Bob Kriesat, together for 37 years. And guys, we were just talking a little bit before. Laura's been married 16 years. I've been married 28 years. Why do you want to ruin a great relationship by getting married? I'm serious. Why?
It's not really going to change anything in our relationship. It's not going to, hopefully it will just, we feel entitled to it. We feel entitled to the word after 37 years, and hopefully it will give us the respect that the word marriage gives to the two of you in your relationship, and recognition.
Yeah, you're not even going to, but you're not going to have the term marriage.
I know, right?
It's, what do you call it? Civilly unions, CU'd, unionized, you know, and how do you feel about the definition not including marriage?
I think that's part of the ongoing issue. Yeah, even though we can say that we're going to take advantage of the civil union, but we also are very clear in our minds that this isn't the end of the journey. For me, the kind of work that I'm in, language is very important. It clarifies what we mean, and the very word civil marriage, and as we were talking earlier, the difficulty there is in using that word to define a relationship is very hard.
And as a Lutheran pastor minister, you've married many people, and does it go through your mind, why am I not able to do the same thing at each and every marriage?
That's gone through my mind a lot, that I can perform a marriage and instantly those two people are entitled to all of the benefits and even the term marriage, and yet 37 years together, we still aren't entitled to the best, which includes the word marriage.
I was going to say, Bob, but also as clergy in the Lutheran Church, it might not just be a private statement, even if you're making it public under the law here, to be the first, and the publicity that comes with that. What about in the church itself when you're doing this? I mean, there might be people saying, well, wait a minute, why are you making this statement of civil union as a Lutheran priest? Because you don't have unanimity in the Lutheran Church about this very issue.
No, there's no question that this is a very personal position that we're taking. This is not the position of my church. My church does not condone marriage of pastors. The Lutheran Church is very open to gay and lesbian people being members of the church and so on. But when you're in the ministry within the church, it's a little different. So that while I'm doing it, it isn't an official position of the Lutheran Church.
Now, Ed, Bob mentioned that this is by no means the end of the journey. Do you foresee in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, being able to actually have the title of marriage? What do you foresee in the immediate and long-term future?
We're very optimistic that, I don't know within a year, but hopefully within a few years, we will have the right to use the term marriage. And as a result, while we are planning on getting unionized, civilized, CU'd, whatever we're going to call it, we're not going to make any real big deal of it. We're saving that for when we can use the term marriage. We're not denying that the civil unions have given us a lot of benefits and a lot of recognition, but it's maybe 90% of what we want, and we think the last 10% may be easier.
Well, but by wanting to be the first, it will be making a statement, a public statement here. And if I could for a second, the last person, gay person who made this kind of statement here about gender issues like this was Jim McGreevey, the former governor, and his book. And I'm just curious with both of you, did you read his book?
Yes.
What do you think of the book as it relates to this issue of dealing with the outside world, and now increasingly the outside public world, because you're going to be, you anticipate doing a very public thing?
Well, that's personal for Bob.
Yeah, I identified a lot with what Governor McGreevey was going through and what he talked about in his book. I found it personal, partly because I had been married earlier.
When we met.
When we met, and so it had a lot of issues that I identified with.
The secret life, if it,
Yes,
the way he was
Well, now,
talking
being
about.
together for 37 years, did you all have to keep it private for a certain time? How long before it was open at you all as a couple? How long before you could openly come out?
Well, job-wise, Bob only felt very comfortable about it, I guess, the past few years as he approached
Really?
retirement.
37 years, and just in the past few years.
Even though we
Yeah.
lived together for the
Right.
whole time.
Since
Even in my
1972, we
parishes.
lived in New Jersey at church parishes, and we were fairly, we were social with the people. They came to the parsonage. We had church open houses at Christmas, and they knew we traveled together, but it was sort of like the military, don't ask, don't tell.
Right.
It was an ecclesiastical form.
Don't throw it in their face.
Now,
don't push it in their
we're
face.
running short on time, but what do you say to the critics who say this is opening the door for, say, polygamy? If gay couples want the same title as heterosexual couples, isn't that the same as a polygamist wanting to be the same rights as a married couple? What do you say to that argument?
The marriage laws, the statutes, I believe, in every state, limit it to 2 individuals. And I don't think the fact that 2 same-sex persons get married opens up the door to marrying 2 wives or 2 husbands
It's not a
or
Pandora's
marrying your
box.
dog.
Right. Well, that's
as-
another, bestiality. People
Right.
bring that up.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I think that's really pushing the point and trying to raise a red flag where none really exists.
Okay. Well, Ed, Bob, we've run out of time, but we wish you the best. And February 19th is the day that you can actually go to apply for your marriage certificate.
Right.
So,
Our civil union certificate.
excuse me. I did. I
So you're going
did.
to see your ring then, right?
That's
We would
right.
like the day when
When you
that
can-
won't be a
right.
mistake.
Right, right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For taking
Thank
the
you.
time to talk to us. And we want you to stay with us because there's more to come here on New Jersey Power and Politics.